Renaming McCree is a PR stunt. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. All right, so that statement I've just made, I believe, is complete garbage. I don't think this is a PR stunt, and I'm going to try and convince you guys why I think that's the case in this video. But we are going to take a holistic view at what the hell is going on with McCree and why this is pretty much a pivotal moment in the history of Overwatch and also really for Blizzard going forward. Now, there are lots of different ways you can look at this. You can look at it from the point of view of it is a very cynical thing that Blizzard have done, and they are using it as, well, they're spinning the story to go, oh, look, we are changing. We know Jesse McCree is somebody at Blizzard who is involved in all of the sexual harassment, well, not, I want to say all of the sexual harassment stuff, but he was involved in the sexual harassment lawsuit. He has been fired from Blizzard, so they've obviously found cause to get rid of him. And of course, you know, we remember the stuff with the Cosby suite and stuff like that. It's not a good look for Jesse McCree, so he went. But there may be other stuff, but we don't know. However, he's gone. Now, what happened was the name Jesse McCree becomes synonymous with that guy, not the character in Overwatch. So Overwatch then changes the name of Jesse McCree, or, well, they're going to change it. They've announced that they're changing his name, and this is to get rid of Jesse McCree completely from within Blizzard. That sounds like a good thing, right? But it also could be used as ammunition from a PR department to go, look at us, guys, we are making positive changes. But I think the issue we've got here is the separation between what Blizzard is and what the Overwatch team is. So let's take a look at all of this stuff I've got on the screen. So, first thing we see is this. Now, this is just what came out yesterday from the Overwatch development team. You can see it's got a bunch of likes on it. It's the statement where they say, look, guys, we are renaming McCree, and this is why. And we're going to rename him in the next few months. There's going to be a lore story arc with McCree, and we're just going to go from there. Now, there was meant to be a McCree story arc coming out in September, but that's not happening now because they're renaming McCree. So that's being pushed back. And of course, Malavento, the map which has just come out on the PTR, that was also meant to come out back in June. It didn't. Well, I think back in July, sorry, it didn't. It's just come out today. So you can see everything has been pushed back a month because of all the things that have been going on inside of Blizzard. And beyond the no illusions, I'd imagine it's not particularly a great place to work at the moment. Especially if you're just trying to make a game and then you've got all of this stuff going, you know, ahead. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be a game. You could be working on any project, and then you've got all of this sort of pressure from outside. You've got all of the problems inside of Blizzard, things that maybe nothing to do with you, but it's impacting your work. And yeah, it's just going to be a hellish situation. So yeah, we get this statement. That's fine. I want to show you guys this next, because this is the first little bit of evidence we get that says that this actually is an Overwatch decision. It isn't a Blizzard decision. But we must remember here, there is a little caveat that Bobby Kotick did say. Now, of course, he's the overlord of Activision Blizzard. He said that there will be changes to in-game content in a statement that went out to shareholders for the quarterly earnings report. So it could be construed as one of those instances of changing content in the game because it doesn't fit with their new approach, let's say. Anyway, Mike Ibarra, he is one of the co-leaders of Blizzard. So there's two co-leaders of Blizzard, and Mike is one of them now. Of course, they don't have a president anymore. And he says, an update from Team 4, and he retweets this. Now, he's not saying this is a Blizzard update, this is an update from me or whatever. He's saying an update from Team 4. And then actually the Overwatch message does say a message from the Overwatch team. The problem we've got is this, to me, says, oh yeah, it's from the Overwatch guys, but Overwatch is part of Blizzard, and I think to a lot of other people, it looks like it's Blizzard, right? And you know, you can't be told off for thinking like that, can you? Because, well, it's natural, right? Overwatch is Blizzard. Blizzard is part of Overwatch, right? It's all the same, right? Or is it? That's the thing. So I want to move on to this. In fact, before we go to this one, I'll move on to this comment. So this is from Justin Groot, who is a writer and narrative designer on Overwatch 2. And he's got the usual spiel, tweets of my own, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, Overwatch 2 is my dream job. I love my work and my team. But I'm finding all the hostility from executive leadership incredibly discouraging. Shredding HR docs, forcing victims under NDAs. How are we supposed to feel good about working for these guys? You'll notice here as well, there is no mention of Blizzard. He says, Overwatch 2 is his dream job. I love my work and my team. He's not saying I love Blizzard. I'm like some diehard Blizzard hero. No, I like my team. So you can already see you've got these kind of factions inside Blizzard. Now, I think it's always been this way. We look at the harassment stuff. Most of it came from the World of Warcraft team. I think there was a lot going on in Battle.net as well. Maybe other teams have had cases as well. The good thing for us, well, it's not really a good thing, but the lucky thing, I suppose, for us as fans of Overwatch is there's nothing come out about the Overwatch team. Internally at Blizzard, they're referred to as Team 4, and I suppose they they don't operate independently, but I suppose they operate in their own. They've got their own like management structure, right, for Team 4, and then it reports to Activision Blizzard, or reports to Blizzard higher ups, who then report to Activision Blizzard, and so it goes. But it's its own little compartment sort of thing. I guess that's the best way to look at it. Compartmentalized development in a way. You've got these individual teams. I think the teams talk to each other still, but the day-to-day operation, they're not obviously mixing with each other. And of course, the harassment stuff was mainly focused on the World of Warcraft team, so they had to make big changes and stuff like that. But we haven't seen any negativity come out of the Overwatch team yet, and I don't think we will. Well, I hope we don't. Anyway, I'll be severely disappointed if we do. This tweet as well also does touch on the lawsuit, because it's been updated, because I kind of just want to show you guys this as well, just while we're on this. So this is California basically expanding the lawsuit against Blizzard. And the reason why they've done that is because they found evidence that Blizzard Human Resources, so the HR department, have been destroying evidence. That's horrifically super bad. And that is going to result in a lot of damage to Blizzard in a lot of different ways. I mean, this is horrifically bad. But then again, you could say that maybe what's going on here is Blizzard realized that, you know what, if we destroy the documents, the fine is less than actually what the documents will end up hitting us with, or that whatever the legal case may turn out to be. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at this. But I mean, I'm not going to read this off, but I'll put a link in the video description below. But essentially, you can kind of see it here. It says, with regards to claims that we have destroyed information by shredding documents, those claims are not true. We took appropriate steps to preserve information, blah, blah, blah. That's what Blizzard's response is to the claim that, well, they've been destroying documents. It says it actually here. It says it alleges in part that documents related to investigations and complaints were shredded by human resource personnel in violation of what it asserts is the game company's legal obligation to retain them pending an investigation. And it would be, right? Why would you start destroying evidence? That's extremely dodgy. Now, the other thing I want to show you guys, this is another member of, I don't want to say a member of Overwatch, but member of Overwatch League. So by extension, yeah, a bit of a member of Overwatch. But again, look at the language that's used here. So this is John Spector. He's the vice president of the Overwatch League at Blizzard. So he basically is the boss or the face of Overwatch League, the commissioner, if you will. He says this: does this fix every problem our company needs to address? Obviously not. Does it still make me feel proud of my friends on the Overwatch team to see them take this small step and try to do some good in the ways they can right now? Yes. So again, very key language there. You got to remember as well, these guys are pretty savvy when it comes to language as well. But look at what he's saying. He's proud of the Overwatch team. He's proud of Overwatch, and he's proud of the small step they've taken. You can add all of this up together in your head, and you can come to a conclusion here and say, well, you know what? This actually is the only thing the Overwatch team could realistically do. So then let me show you something else, right? Now, there's a lot of tweets out there that have been getting a hell of a lot of traction. You can imagine why. So this is from a guy called Mike Drucker. I've got to be honest, I'm not aware of this guy, but apparently he's a writer for television. He's a whatever, right? I don't really know who he is. But this comment, right, it makes sense, and also it doesn't, based off what I've just kind of gone through. So he says, Blizzard get caught destroying HR documents, so I'm glad they've changed their ways by renaming a cowboy. Now, this obviously is trying to indicate that they're naming... Oh, God, guys, we're getting absolutely hammered because they've found out we've destroyed the documents. Quick, deploy the McCree name change. And you can see it as that, right? You totally can. And if you do, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't want you guys watching my videos going, oh, yeah, I just completely agree with what Sty says. No, come on. We're all adults, I hope, anyway, at least in our heads. So we should be able to form arguments and have discussions with each other. But this guy then goes on to say, it's fine to change his name, but this is like putting a band-aid over a gushing chest wound. The folks saying that HR departments aren't the same people as the devs, that's very true, but they are part of the same company, as is their PR team. No further questions. See, that's the other thing as well, and I have touched on that in this video. It's the separation. It doesn't matter if you are the Overwatch guys and you're like, you know what, we're great and we're fine and we're going to make these changes. You're still part of Blizzard, and that's the problem, right? It will always come back to, well, it's Blizzard, because it isn't Blizzard they're just not making meaningful changes. And all we're seeing, like, as you know, as people who play their games, is just these sort of little bits and pieces thrown out there, and it totally does look I hate using this word because I think it's absolute trashy PR talk, but the optics, so the way this thing looks, doesn't look particularly great, does it? When you've got your lawsuit getting ramped up, you've got a lot of other issues going on as well, And then you're like, but guys, look, we've renamed McCree because he had a bad name. You see what I mean? So you can get that problem. But I don't believe that to be true. I believe this is the Overwatch team almost rebelling in a way, doing as much as they can within the system they're in. Now, Jessica Gonzalez actually responds to this. And she runs a better Activision Blizzard King. Apologies. And that is a Twitter account, which, well, it's just kind of over here. So this is just like the... it's the employees of Activision, Blizzard, and King. It's their sort of... I don't want to call it the group or the main meeting point, but it's basically their Twitter account. That's what it is. I'll just call it what it is. It's their Twitter account. And it's about all of the issues that's been going on within Blizzard. And it's a good resource for that if you want to keep up to date on what's going on. But yeah, she runs that. And I've lost the page. Where is she? She's over here. She says, "Hi, Blizzard employee. We're going through a lot right now. Trying to enact change is hard. And I promise this news coming out today wasn't to combat the negative news. But both things can exist at the same time. And while, yes, it's frustrating because it's not enough, it is valid." So it's a small change by the Overwatch team. I think that's what, when we look at the evidence and we act rationally here, this is the Overwatch team wanting to get rid of anything to do with the harassment case in their game. And that's the only thing they've got control over. They can't control what goes on in Blizzard. So they go, you know what, guys? Unfortunately, we named one of our most popular characters. He's literally my most played character. I think he is. He's got to be top 2 for me. Him and Soldier have got to be. In fact, Reinhardt is a lot played for me as well. But they named him after a guy inside of Blizzard simply because they thought his name was cool. And also, that's the thing that's happened at Blizzard for a long time. Blizzard tend to name things in their game after certain people. In fact, I even think in Overwatch 2, in fact, before I get onto the Overwatch 2 bit, I think... that's a case of when you're a small development company, it's kind of cool, right? To put your name in the game, like, oh my God, look, there's so-and-so in the game. That's really cool. But now when you get to this kind of size, I think those sort of ways are a bit dangerous, of course, given what we've seen happen at Blizzard. But of course, they're only dangerous if you're an absolute shithead. So there you go. But Blizzard, with Overwatch 2, I think on the Toronto map, there's Tim Ford's sons. Now, Tim Ford is a member of the Overwatch team. There's also a reference to Jeff on the New York map. The question is, are they going to remove all of those? Because they have said in their statement that they're not going to name anything after real life people ever again. So you would have to argue they're going to have to do that, right? Anyway, take that as you will. So what I want to show you guys now is this. This is my YouTube channel. What a wonderful place to be. The place where I'm right now as we're looking at it. How absolute meta is this? But I put a poll up that I'm actually obscuring my webcam. There we go. Oh, it's like, I've actually got the same t-shirt on. I've got the same t-shirt on. Look, it's the same thing. Oh, no. Anyway, this is what we want to look at. Put the question out 14 hours ago as of recording this video. And I still vote on this, right? If you're seeing this video now, get over there and vote on this. I said, was renaming McCree the right move? Please explain your vote in the comments below. Look at this. Look at that. 65% say no. And I'll tell you something about these polls on YouTube. Generally, the top option is the one that gets the most votes. So it says yes, and it doesn't get the most votes. And I'm going to sneeze actually in a minute. So, okay, praise my mute button over there. I'm going to do it again. No, I'm okay. This is highly unprofessional. No, I am going to do it again. Holy God. Okay. So, yeah, look, 65% say this is a bad decision. Now, if we go on to this, there's 14,000 votes here, and I did ask people to explain their vote in the comments, and, well, only 600 people have done that. So, I mean, what about the rest of you guys? But it's still valid. You don't have to explain. Only explain if you need to. So, let's go and take a look at these comments, because maybe I can zoom in on this, actually, a little bit. Hang on a second. I can, but then I kind of really block it. Okay, that's fine. We can sort of see it above my head. Okay. So the top comment, well, I mean, I don't know how this is doing top comments because this one's got more upvotes than that one. I don't know. But we'll just go through some of the top comments and take a look at this. So DDO1 says, pleasure working with you, McCree, if that's your real name. I don't know what you heard, but my name's not Joel. Sombra could be useful here and expose McCree's real name. And yeah, we've seen that a lot. As I've even referenced that a few times where McCree and Sombra have an interaction where I think Sombra say, I always ad-lib this because I can't entirely remember it, but basically, I won't even bother this time, but she's basically questioning if McCree's his real name. So there is a way out, like maybe Sombra hacks him and finds out his real name, and then there's a backstory to McCree. You know, that's something feasibly that could happen. Dagger says they should just change the Jesse part and keep his last name as McCree. And this actually has been something that we've seen over the last, like, 18 hours or so since the news broke. Well, I guess 14 hours since I put this poll up, which pretty much went up when the news came out. McCree, like, so this is the issue, isn't it? McCree is Jesse McCree in Overwatch. It's not some guy involved in sexual harassment at Blizzard who's been fired, is it? It's not that guy. But it is because of the way the news has gone, and everyone knows that now. So you can't keep McCree in the game, and that's the problem. I said this in my video where I said, hey, McCree's done. I honestly thought he was done, and yeah, he is done because his name is synonymous with that guy now and not with McCree in the game. But if you just play Overwatch, you don't give a shit who this other guy is, right? You're just like, well, that's McCree. And here's the thing as well. We're always going to call this guy McCree. Like, I'm going to slip up all the time. I've played him. I don't even know how many hours. I've played Overwatch for 6 years. It's McCree. It's, you know, and it's going to take a long time to get out of that. So there'll be a lot of slips. Anyway, Tonka says, I kind of like the idea that someone said, give him a voice line. Why should I change my name? That guy's an asshole. That actually is kind of cool. But again, the problem with that is it's just they don't want any reference of all this bad stuff that's gone on at Blizzard. They just want to completely remove it. Changing his name literally helps no one. It's just so they can appeal to the corporate industry. Instead of changing a fictional character's name, they should be speaking out against the harassment going on. Completely valid, right? That is totally valid. But this is when you view it from the perspective of it being Blizzard and it not just being the Overwatch team. I just think this is what the Overwatch team can do within their I want to say the prison cell. That sounds really wrong. But within their cage, let's say. That even sounds bad. Within their framework, okay? Maybe I should work in PR. The framework that they've got, this is probably the most they can do. I mean, let's be honest, it's a big thing. This would be like World of Warcraft renaming, I don't know, Jaina to somebody completely different. It would wreck the lore. Like, well, I guess they've wrecked the lore anyway. World of Warcraft is a different thing. Let's move on. So, I get the name change from Blizzard's perspective, but I honestly don't think even half the people even knew he was named after a developer. No, I don't think they did. That's totally true. He's been a character in the game for years and is very well known. Suddenly change his name just seems weird. Yeah. It's best to give a fictional character. It's best to give a fictional character a name that isn't the name of a real world person to prevent things like this happening. And yeah, you know, Blizzard totally are. I mean, they're doing that now. Well, you see, even I say it, right? Blizzard's doing it. Overwatch is doing it, right? Nope. It's moronic response to something that people never associate with him in the first place. I'm kind of... In fact, I can filter this, can't I? Sort by... Yeah, it's just going to keep it the same way. I don't know how it does this, because these have got, like how can a 26... Like this one here with 26 votes be below one with 2? I honestly don't know. Maybe it's just because this was 11 hours ago. I don't know. Who even knows how YouTube works, ladies and gentlemen? Anyway... I understand the reasoning behind it, but we all know McCree as the rolling cowboy in Overwatch, not the scumbag developer. I hope his new name will be cool at least. No, because the majority of people don't. Okay, we've seen that a few times. Totally fine. Yeah, the name better be good at least. COVID Cowboys. What I call him is Silver. Okay. I honestly had no idea. McCree named after one of the developers, and yeah, you see, again, this is the thing. People didn't know. It was like a stupid. It's like an Easter egg thing. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's named after a developer. Like, you know, I can tell you guys something else. Vivi's Adventure in the arcade in Hanamura. Vivi is the daughter of Mike Morheim, who was the ex-co-founder of Blizzard. His daughter's name is in the game. It's like Blizzard have got a history of this, and a lot of developers do it. But as we've seen now, this does come back and kick you in the arse, or bite you in the arse, I should say. But I think we're going to leave it at that, guys, because you can see there's tons of comments here. And I think, like, you know, looking at this result here, it is kind of like... I think, like, so I'll just end this with my thoughts, right? I'm pissed that McCree's name's been changed. I'm pissed that he was named after a guy who did all of this shit. But that guy had to go. And his name couldn't remain, really, in the game. It needed to be changed. But it's McCree to me, and it's McCree to you guys. And that's the problem we've got. In terms of the way this has impacted, or the optics of this, the timing of it, and all of that, yeah, it's crap. It looks like Blizzard have put it out there to go, oh, yeah, check it out. We've changed the name of McCree, by the way. We know what we're doing. It's like, come on. But it's not Blizzard, right? It's Overwatch. But even throughout this video, I've been getting confused, and I refer to the Overwatch team as Blizzard, because it is Blizzard. That's the problem we've got. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. It is, again, my absolute pleasure to bring these videos to you guys. And I hope you're getting informed off them as well. And, like, because it helps me as well, right? It's not just me producing some video. Like, I'm going through this. It lets me work things out in my head. And I think it's just good for all of us, right? But remember, whenever we get these kind of topics popping up, it's fine to be on whatever side you want to be on. Just try and get involved in some good discourse. Don't just shout whatever you believe from the rooftops as if that's gospel, because, you know, sometimes your opinion can change, and maybe sometimes it should change. I know my opinion changes all the time, and that's good. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video, and I will catch you on the next one. And I just thought I was going to talk about Malavento, but I just totally forgot about it, because who even remembers or wanted a free-for-all map? That's a bit harsh. It's a fine map. There's a video on the channel. Go and check it out. Goes into, well, it doesn't go into super detail, but it gives you a first look at Malavento. There's actually a cool Easter egg on that. In fact, this is kind of a nice way to end the video. There is an Easter egg on that map. There is a plaque dedicated to the Italian voice actor for Soldier 76, who unfortunately passed away. So that's a nice little in-game dedication. And actually, there is shocking news recently that the Brazilian voice actress for Mercy was murdered, unfortunately. Maybe it would be nice if Blizzard could do something on potentially the Rio map when Overwatch 2 comes out. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.